Hello guys, this is Kevin here with Smart Execution. So I just wanted to give you an update on what happened on those two pairs we shared on Monday. So basically, when we are using the entry magnifier, we first identify the direction or the market cycle or way or the stage we are at in the market cycle. Then from that point, if we know the stage, we will need to identify the pattern that is to be produced within that stage, and then we will then take into the consideration the entry point. So as an example, we are looking at Euro AUD. Euro AUD gave us a nice W pattern before we're given an entry point. This was our entry point, as you remember, and this was another entry point, a rise from level 1, right? So this, after being given a pattern, we wait for the entry point. The entry point is given, we confirm, we end on the next candle. This was a level 1 rise, drop. This was a level 2 rise, and then we got to a level 3. There we were given a nice M pattern. After we identified the pattern, we saw that the entry magnifier was actually giving us a hint that this could be a reversal point, and from that point they gave us an entry. This was the entry point. Then you enter, hold up to the time that you're given an exit point. Okay. But we discovered that the strategy, the BTMM strategy, it is a good strategy, right? But sometimes they're not sure about the entry point. That's the job of the entry magnifier. After you've done all your analysis, identifying the market trend, the stage you are in of the cycle, at the same time is identifying the pattern, you then wait now to confirm the pattern with an entry point. After you get in, you have to wait for the exit point to be given. Okay, so let's move on to the next pair, which is Euro NZD. They give the same almost the same pattern. Okay, Euro NZD, remember that we said number 1, you look at the cycle, right? The cycle is there. We have a nice W pattern. The entry magnifier gave an entry point there, a nice one, level 1, level 2, and then level 3 is identified by a pattern. Okay, the other thing that can identify the levels here is the moving averages. Let me change my color. So this is level 1, 50 and 13 crossing, level 2, 50 and 200 crossing, and then we get fanned out moving averages there, fanned out moving averages, showing that this is our level 3. Then in our level 3, we know that we expect a reversal pattern. This M pattern is there. The entry magnifier actually gave us a hint that there is going to be a reversal in this zone, and after we were given a hint, it gave us an entry point. You enter and hold your trade, and at the end of the day, you're given an exit point. So the entry magnifier is kind of the missing piece of the puzzle for your strategy, for the BTMM strategy. So we identify the cycle. Number 2, we identify the pattern, right? It's really important that you identify a valid pattern. Sometimes they can give you a wrong pattern. And then number 3, you then take into the consideration the entry point given by the entry magnifier. So that's it. That's all with the this system. That's how it works. That's how it makes trading less difficult using the BTMM strategy. But sometimes they don't always give you entry points that don't have drawdowns. Okay, this was a small drawdown there. There are actually entry points where they will be a drawdown, that at the end, in that process, you might think that maybe the trade is completely going against you. Okay, so this was an example. This is an example of an entry point without a drawdown. As you can see, this was the entry, this was the signal. The entry point was on the next candle, and then as you can see, there is no drawdown. They didn't come against you a little bit, and then they just went straight up. On this candle, right, there was a drawdown. There was a drawdown there. One would have ended on this candle, right, and then there was a drawdown for like 2-3 hours, 4 hours there, and then they came back. It's not always we're given an entry point that quickly gets into profit. Sometimes you need to hold and let them finish up, and then they'll move in the right direction, or the intended direction. The third example of a drawdown that might happen was on NZD USD. As you can see on this pair, they actually gave us an entry point on this candle, and then we had to end on this candle, right? You enter a trade, and then an exit point is given. An exit point. This is, I call it small exit warning arrow, meaning to say it's just a small reversal that may be happening. You might want to protect your profit and you exit. Someone would actually want to hold such a trade, knowing that they really need to do what we call a safety. Remember, after 50 and 200 cross, we expect them to come and bounce on 200 moving average, produce an M pattern there, right, and produce an M pattern there, and then this is what we would be calling a safety trade. So one would actually want to hold such a trade up until it is 200 movement. So the drawdown might scare you, but eventually they'll actually move into the intended direction. And remember, you have to take into consideration that they might hit the low 2 times or 3 times. Okay, so this was the first hit, the second hit, and the third hit. Okay, and then they went into the intended direction. So these are some of the situations you might face when you're trading on this system. Okay, you might exit maybe earlier with the less profit, or you might want to hold, go into a little bit of drawdown, and then they continue up. It depends with the capital that you have. It depends with the risk that you've made on that trade. So yeah, this is the entry magnifier for you. This is the entry magnifier for you. I hope you guys are making the most out of it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. For more information about our system, you just need to look for the details in the description box. Thank you. Entry magnifier perform.